This is easily the most awkward way to transport anything. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Car Rant. Today we are finally putting a lip on the Evo. First things first, we have to get this bumper off, which involves us undoing a number of 10 mils, getting it off, and then yeah, we'll show you what to do from here. Putting this lip on because we need it to balance the wing that's in the back, and as much as everyone's been hosing me about having this ridiculous wing, it does help because there are plans for this car to take it from its daily status to racetrack ready. So there's reasons for things. We have to take off these. I don't think we need to take off the headlights, but I'm going to find out again in a minute. There's a couple bolts on the back side of the bumper, and then it comes off. There it goes.
Clickbait.
Hey.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Evo got into an accident.
Yeah. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen this. And for those of you asking, that is factory. That is not aftermarket. I stand corrected for all those who help me investigate this. Well, we got the hard part off. Now, there are two bolts underneath that support part of the subframe. We gotta undo those. As you can see by our beautiful APR lip / wind splitter, there are two bolts right here that have to get bolted to the body of the car, and the rest of those get bolted to the bottom of this. You fast can. All of those little bolts line up with each of these little holes that you see around the bumper, and yeah, the only last steps we'll have is to drill the holes for the splitter rods, and we're done. We put it all back together. Yay!
Maserati.
As you guys saw, we got everything lined up. We got things kind of semi-attached, except for that one. We're gonna figure that guy out. Now we're going through and bolting things together. What size is the nut? The nut itself is 13 mils. The actual hex, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure that out. But right now we're just going incrementally, torquing them down up to the front, just to make sure we don't bend or break anything, because that would be problematic.
Alright, so I'm not an expert or anything. I'm not even really good at math, but all I'm doing is just using simple logic, I guess. Like,
okay.
No matter, since you're not really particular about where they're mounting here, I figure we might as well have it at least centered.
In balance.
So I just took the symbol here and used that as my center marker. Be better if I had like a, I might go inside and get a different, like one of those rulers that's
extendable,
or even string, really. Anyways, and I'm just finding the center line here, dry erase marker.
Yep.
And I just marked there, and then I came down here and made sure that was eyeballed as to be as
straight as possible.
And then whatever. What I'm gonna do actually though is I'm gonna get some string. I'm gonna tape it right here, and I'm gonna pull that taut. That's what I'm gonna do.
Just line it down.
Yeah, that's gonna work better because there's some mad angles. It's not really about the measurement.
It's about the balance.
It's about the
position. If you look from where I'm standing, right, the reason why we want to balance is because this is a splitter. It's going to have forces pushing up or down on it. We want to make sure that they're pushing down, right? So having it balanced means that we have an even amount of force downwards to keep this angle right, so that when we're driving, we actually get grip. All right. This is momentous. This is the first time I've ever drilled into this. There's no going back to OEM at this point, so here we go. Should I just drill straight through the red mark?
Mm-hmm.
Golf. Oh, I need more oomph than that. Come on. Alright. Send it.
Oh god.
That was not good. Oh, that's why. This curved. What happened here? This broke.
Yep.
Oh, what the?
Alright. Go ahead.
Is it still recording?
Yep.
Alright.
I hope so. Oh god. Oh gosh. That's awful. That's terrible. That's awful.
This is so brutal.
So painful.
Well, at least we got the paint off. So now there's a permanent mark where we can drill through with a real drill bit. New drill bit, because the one that we had was broken from a while ago and didn't realize it. Wow, that was really easy. So we were able to get this all kind of marked up and then finally got it drilled in. Now we just got to tighten it in place so we can mark out where our next little drill location will be into the fiberglass. Not all lips are like this. It's just this one happens to be that way. I'm not sure why they didn't drill out where they wanted this. I guess they kind of let you choose. But for us, this is where it's going to go. So now we're going to get started on the other side for drilling this out and then start marking in where we want to bolt into the actual lip. Dang, boy. Don't worry, you're next. So unfortunately, some stuff happened behind the camera that allowed us to not video. So this is me kind of bringing you up to speed as to where we're at this point. The car looks incredible. I really love the way it just kind of made it so much more aggressive looking now that it has this, well, to be honest, just shelf kind of sitting there. It makes it look a lot more track spec and a lot more capable of going fast and cornering and all that. It just looks great, as well as very functional. I've noticed that at higher speeds, this is just a subtle observation that I notice as the guy who owns it, but at higher speeds, when I'm steering or changing lanes or whatever, you feel the steering get heavier the faster you go, which is definitely the front end kind of being pulled down by that bumper. So I'm really happy with the way that's feeling right now. We still have to tune it in to make it all work together, but as of right now, that wing on the back is now being complemented by the lip on the front, which is making for a much more stable drive. Once Will and I sit down and dial everything in all together, it'll definitely be capable of some serious cornering power at speed, which is really what the goal was the whole time. A couple things though before I finish this video. On our car specifically, we're actually missing several pieces. On a normal Evo VIII, if you're doing this at home, on a normal Evo VIII, there are pieces underneath the engine that when we would have pulled the bumper off, we would have had to undo all of that as well. My car didn't have that, which is why it was very easy for us to just pull the bumper off, set it down, put this thing on there, and put it all back together. On a normal Evo, you'll have an intercooler hose that you need to remove. What I mean by that is there's a little intercooler sprayer in the bumper itself that will need to be either detached or crimped or whatever you want to call it, just so that you don't have a bunch of fluid drain out, but also so you have better access to things as far as bolting it onto the bumper goes. We were also missing a bracket, which would have been a metal support piece for all of that under tray stuff. Ours was missing, so I'm gonna have to order one. And the reason why that's significant is because our under tray portion of the lip bolts directly to that to help really stabilize it, keep it all stiff and level, and it's just an additional mounting point for the bumper so that it doesn't sag, because that lip is not exactly light. It definitely adds weight to the front, which might mess with the weight distribution. I don't really know how much it'll mess with it because it's not like it's that heavy. It's maybe a couple pounds at most. All of that said, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. What do you guys think of the lip? Do you think it looks a little ridiculous? Do you think it really complements the car? Also, what are your thoughts on lips? I know that not a lot of people like to put them on their cars, but for people who drive really hard or like to track or things of that nature, they can be really handy as far as cornering goes. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Also, like and subscribe if you haven't already. We do have a lot of content coming up, especially as we move to the end of this season into warmer weather and move into season 5. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on another episode of Car Rant. God bless and peace. Oh, that's a great shot. Yes. Blooper reel. Here's the real question. Does our little doohickey fit? And the answer is no.
Now you can just step up a size.
Yeah, now I'll just go up a size.
You'd rather do that than...
Yeah, start small, get big. Or you'd rather actually just be the size you need.